Good afternoon, friends. A critical part of being an effective leader is the ability to persuade. Persuade your team to take certain actions to accept executive decisions. Even if they are controversial, and as more and more millennials join the workforce, mastering the art of persuasion will become even more indispensable. Younger generation, my friend, has been brought up to question everything, and especially the authority. So therefore, today I will be discussing or talking changing attitudes through persuasion. Persuasion is the process. Getting your way is the outcome. The prime strategy for getting your way is implementing a persuasion process that leads to positive outcome. The two-word secret of how to persuade and how to implement persuasive strategies is manipulation free actually. Manipulated persuasion is short-lived. True persuasion exists when it lasts beyond the moment. My friends, persuasion is a science. You can learn to persuade. You can learn the best ways to persuade in each given situation to in your workplace or in your life. Personal life, I mean. Persuasion is an art. Never crossing the line to pushy is showing reserve and poise. In short, just being cool, remaining cool and getting your work done, getting the positive results. My personal persuasion is excellent questioning skill beyond excellent communication skills. It's getting the other person to clarify what you want in their mind rather than tell him this is why that happened. Ask, why do you think this happened or what made this happen? My friend, persuasion is a compromise. Often there is some give and take in order to get your way, get you what wants to be done. Persuasion is asking questions that clarifies the situation, asking for elaboration, understanding, and why will lead you to a harmony. That harmony will permit open-minded dialogue and discussion. Persuasion is excellent listening skill too. Listening one of the most difficult elements of persuasion because it requires tremendous amount of patience. The two-word secret of patience and listening is not shut up. It takes notes. Taking notes shows respect and eliminates all kinds of miscommunications. Persuasion is getting others guy to convince himself. If you question, listen, write down, and question again for clarification your answers and your point of view, it will have obvious positive results. Persuasion is also preparation, gathering the right information, asking the right questions, uncovering the right hot buttons and acting on them. Persuasion is also victory. Persuasion is the science by which you get your way. It's not just getting your way, it's persuading get your way. Persuasion is reading this book more than once and putting it into action. My friend, I always say that persuasion is nothing but it's a four-way process. The step one is establish your credibility. Why is establishing credibility is important to the art of persuasion? Simply put, people are more likely to be persuaded by someone they trust. Credibility is made up of, again, two factors: your level of expertise and your relationship with people. If you think you lack expertise around the issue you're trying to persuade, your team will not consider. So you bolster your knowledge of the subject of the you want to persuade them and convince them. Take classes, take coaching, know about your work. If you need help on the relationship side, consider involving people who already have a strong relationship with the folks you are trying to persuade, or meeting one-to-one with the key stakeholders to establish a relationship prior to trying to persuade this in the entire team. If team members see that you have a good relationship with people, then they already respect. They are more likely to respect you and find you more credible and listen to you and agree to your point. Once you have established your credibility to the team you want to persuade, second step, find common grounds. Too often your workplace, the leaders, they approach persuasion myopically. That is, they try to persuade an audience that an idea of solution is good for its own sake, not the audience's. A key to effective persuasion then is to highlight the advantages that the people you are trying to persuade would experience. In order to do that, you must thoroughly understand the challenges that your audience faces when they most care about. Then, once you have found the common grounds, you must provide evidence. The third step. They may seem like no brainer. People are more likely to be persuaded when you give them evidences that the idea you're trying to convince them to support actually works. What's surprising though is the kind of evidence that people respond to most. When it comes to persuasion, it is best to combine hard evidence with more emotionally resonant language that uses examples and anecdotes. You may ask, why focus on emotional evidence? Like for decision making is an emotional process, remember. To appeal to emotions, cite your evidence by using evocative, illustrative language. Leaders know how to tell a good story, anecdote, parable, relevant jokes. This will make your evidences more memorable. And it's hard to win over people when they can't even remember your key points. If you are in a storytelling slump, try drawing your own personal anecdotes, or even more reasonable, use examples that involve the people you trying to persuade. An ultimate step. The fourth step, I say, once you have established your credibility, you have found the common grounds, you have provided hard evidences. Then comes connect with them emotionally. The final step in the art of persuasion, my friend, is connecting on an emotional level with your audience. Though this step is different from the emotional evidence used in step earlier I have discussed. In this case, you need to show your audience that you are emotionally committed to your ideas. Can your audience tell that you are passionate about persuading them? If they can, it's a good sign, a positive sign. But beware, you don't want to go off the emotional deep end. Being overly emotional could be read as being weak or imbalanced. To strike a right emotional tone, persuaders need to read the room to understand what kind of emotional argument to make. Will your audience respond best to scare tactics or much uplifting messages? to figure out the leader should talk with a few key members of the team to get an emotional read on the group, and then use that feedback to inform the persuasion techniques. My friend, remember, persuasion is a process. Getting is just a process. Getting away is the outcome. Mastering the art of persuasion is just one of the skill that must be in any effective leader's toolbox. But it's a crucial one. Being a leader involves coming up with ideas to move the institution or company forward, take the company to the next level, higher level. But if you can't convince your colleagues, peers, employees, or subordinate that your ideas have merit, then your institution runs the risk of stagnating, my friends. Learn the art of changing attitudes through persuasion, and you will feel the difference, how effective you are. Thank you very much.